testing this out to
Oh,
see
but wait,
if
you still
y'all
have to go on
hear a
Instagram.
double. No. So they won't
Because
hear
it's
double.
not reverb anyways. So we can't test it until we actually go live on both of them.
So guys, we were trying to test this out to make sure you don't hear us in both places, but I don't think it's going to work until I go live in all the places.
But I think I have it fixed. Look, you guys, I have 2 different headphones in. So I think we have
So we're trying to make sure you guys are not getting double. So let's see. We're going to see. Actually, what I'm going to do real fast. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so Deuce, do you hear us double? Can you tell? Okay, my nephew's online. Do you hear 2 different? Do you hear echo? You don't hear echo?
Well, because we're not on.
Do you hear the background?
We're not on Instagram yet.
You don't hear a background.
You got to start the Instagram one. They won't be able to hear an echo because we're not. So we still have to go live on both of them to try it. Oh, yay. Okay, Jesse's here. Good. So when you guys.
Oh, hold on, child. I went live on the wrong thing. Hold on.
It's all good.
Girl, I hit live on YouTube by mistake. Okay, here we go.
We just have to laugh.
Okay, so.
Help me from not crying. So thank you guys for saying good afternoon.
Hey. Oh, good. They see the life of the mermaid. Y'all see the mermaid is in person. Who was in San Francisco? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't go live yet. Don't pay me no attention, y'all. Hold on.
I was like, I don't see you live yet.
Yes, I'm talking and did not go live.
But also, you guys get to see on YouTube and everything behind the scenes. You'll see if you ever have 2 devices, they kick out at different speeds.
So we are on live on YouTube, Facebook, and shortly I'll be going live on Instagram. But we were trying to check it first to make sure we didn't have double. So please let us know if you begin to hear double.
Because the reverb last time was really bad when we listened back. So we apologize because I also know with our brains, I know I'm very sensitive to that. So those of you who put up with it, like, I just appreciate you.
Totally. Okay. So guys, I am about to hit live on Instagram. And again, let us know, Deuce, would you let us know if you hear the double? Because I'm about to go live now. So my nephew jumped on so we could see.
Okay.
Yes, please ask any questions. Going live now.
What's your name? Bonnie Trace Fit.
Hey, guys. We got to get Tawnie in here. I'm so excited to see y'all this week. We had some catching up to do with some rest in our bodies. That's why y'all haven't seen us. As soon as Tawnie jumps in, we are going to get started.
Okay.
Let's bring Tawnie in here. There she goes. Shallow. There she goes. Hey, Tawnie.
Do we hear the reverb, you guys?
Deuce, does it sound like we're double?
What do you guys think? Here, let me try it off. Here we go. Now, Tracey, talk. Yeah. Okay. So we got to mute you. But they can still hear. So YouTube, you can still hear Tracey, though? I just want to make sure. Because I know that's what I was like. Well, he's in the same room as you. I know you got to mute it. Can you guys who are down below tell us, because they're not in the same house, because I'm worried he's hearing you and that. I know you got to mute it. Can you?
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, I'll go somewhere.
Yeah, go somewhere else to see if you can hear me. So that's what so sorry, guys. We're trying to make sure you can hear us on all platforms. So that's why we're testing it out, because somebody said you can't hear us on one. So again, guys, we are on YouTube, IG, and Facebook. And so right now we're trying to make sure YouTube and IG, you guys can hear both myself and Tawnie.
And that there's not like an echo.
Oh, Jesse says no sound.
But I muted you. You'd be able to hear you. Will you talk again?
Can you hear me now, Jesse? Can you hear me now, Jesse? I hear an echo on my end, he said.
Okay.
So y'all heard me say, do you hear me now?
I don't know fix it and not. Okay, hold on.
IG good, but I hear. So okay, they say IG here good, but I hear echo. Okay. It's a delay? Okay, the delay is fine as long as y'all can hear us. Okay. All right, guys, I guess we might be good, so we're going to get started. Echo? But an echo is fine as long as you don't hear two different voices. You don't hear two voices, do you? Okay.
Is it better now?
Okay, we good now. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys so much.
Truly appreciate it. So we're trying to get it together. So what we did, I muted myself on here so you didn't get the both, and then you had to let me open there. So good, guys. So we're going to jump right into it because we've wasted y'all time enough. Yeah. So again, you already know today is Survivors Conversation, having a conversation for survivors, best ways that we can be more productive in our recovery process. So we appreciate y'all even with working with us to try to get this sound together when we're doing these podcasts, because it's very important. So we're going to jump right into it. Those of you know, we had our first live event here in Houston, Texas this Saturday, which was amazing. Yes, so listen, before y'all get on, we're going to tell you right now. Skip to 7 minutes and 40 seconds. That's what, so if you're doing a replay, skip to 7:40. I just want to make that note, guys, so you don't hear all of this other stuff. But okay, so we're going to jump right into it. As this past Saturday here in Houston, Texas, we did our first live Survivors Conversation. And I will say, definitely I'll get the testimonials from the survivors that showed up, but I had an amazing time myself. I just have to say, I had an amazing time. I loved every bit of it. I loved meeting the new survivors. I loved just getting together and communing and to talking and to being in a room of it's more like a safe zone with survivors that we're all on the same page. We can talk to each other. You're not feeling like someone's judging you. Yes, you may be in a wheelchair. Yes, your hand still may be fisted, whatever the case may be. We're all of the same community, guys. So it was just beautiful to be able to see that and to see everyone be so comfortable with just expressing. And then y'all know I love to be able to help y'all in any way possible. So to be in y'all face and not virtual, to be in y'all face and be like, hey, Tracey, how can we do this exercise? And I was able to not only show y'all, but to get up and say, oh, your hand doesn't work like this. Let me show you how to use your hand that doesn't work. Let me show you how to use your foot that doesn't work. Let me show you how to use that body part. So that right there was more exciting to me, to actually visibly be able to see you, assist you, and show you all the things that I bet that's all
physical stuff. So to finally hands-on be able to.
It was beautiful, girl. It was absolutely beautiful. I must say, so it's so much to say about that. I'll start posting little things here and there because we got so much footage. Like I did the camera, I was about to say cameraman, but camera woman, she did put together, I seen the short clip she did, like a 1 minute clip, but she said she'll just make them over and over with just different footage for us to put out. But just the biggest thing, I'm not going to talk so much about the event. I'm talking about the community of having the support of people that are alike, having the support to be able to trust, having the support to be able to come together and share, to express your recovery process. So therefore, others feel like, hey, we're together. I hate that I don't live in Houston area. I live in Tennessee. Okay, so we're just gonna have to make it that way one day. But so again, it's just the importance of community, being able to share and come together. And then I will also say, because I'm gonna go ahead, Tawnie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's important. I know when people watch the oh man, I wish I could travel. I wish I could be there. I hope you see that this means we are gonna be doing them in more places. Like Maddie did one in New York and then LA. So just I know right now it's like, man, but the coolest thing about this is the more we get together, because I can tell you Tracey got to finally feel it. Like, it's my biggest regret that I did not meet in person. I always was connecting with other survivors, but because the doctors drilled into me so much, you're so different. You're so different. I just was like, I want to raise awareness, but like, how much? But there's something about being in person. It's like magnetic. There is something. I mean, first of all, we're all little miracles walking around. So we all should be here. So like Tracey said, that overwhelming, just sense of belonging, and like, you get me. Like, I don't have to, even though you are explaining what you're going through, it's like people will. I just feel like puzzle pieces is the only way. Like, it's like a zipper kind of coming together. Like, you're all separate, and then they have the missing piece of words that you were looking for, or you know, they just. You hear them say something in a way that just hits you. And so I know you're in Tennessee. We want to do them in like every state. Like, that is the goal, to be everywhere, because we also know when you have a. I was like, I'm trying to find words, because it's like you're saying when we have our battles, it's also really hard to go to. So I want you to know there were a lot of people who were like, I wanted to be there, but I couldn't, or because of something, sickness, couldn't get your ride, couldn't whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm proud of myself, and this is why I share it, because I used to let my social anxiety, I canceled on a lot of things. So if this was your first event that you even said, I think I want to go to, that is progress. And I want to applaud you for that, because it is not easy to want to go out and to connect. But what we're trying to show you is it will help you. Every single person who has met another survivor, I'm telling you, it's just changed me for so much of the better. It's helped me be kinder to myself. It's helped me, you know, with some of those lessons that you're just like, man, it's just like, really, really awesome. Echoing.
Jesse just said, echoing. Well, it may be because I had this next to the mic, so I just put it up, so we should be good now. Thank you, Jesse, for saying that. I'm pushing it back away. It could be that, guys. I'm pushing it away, so it'll take the echo out to make sure our YouTubers can hear us with no problem. But I must say something, because I'm now connecting IG names with people. So T saying, were you in Houston or were you in the San Francisco one? He's saying one. She said, I had a wonderful time and I'm ready for the next meetup. The support and encouragement, and it was awesome. So were you in Houston? What is your actual name? Is this Sandra? And guys, so I apologize. So I always talk to people on social media, so I don't know your real name until I see. I think this may be Sandra that's speaking, and she was at the Houston event. Houston's okay. It is okay. I gotta say, I'm praying on a visit to Houston, definitely, so we can meet in person. So Sandra, hey, I'm so glad you said something. So this was Sandra. I will say she was one of the. Tracey loves to mess with people, and I was messing with Mr. Daniels, her husband, the moment he walked in. And I truly appreciate his enthusiasm. I truly appreciate how he came back. And basically, it's like I was bothering him and he gave it back to me. I love people like that, because I don't even know what made me bother him, but then he ended up being my best friend at the end, because we had some technical difficulties as we're doing now. And listen, Mr. Daniels came up and fixed the whole thing what we had with the monitor. He put out his skills. So listen, I love beautiful people like that. So I'm going to thank you, Mr. Daniels, for showing up for us. We all laughed and said, listen, at the end of the day, we survivors. Give ourselves grace. We got this together. But it was just one of those things that it just became a fluke. We were trying to get the music going for Tawnie Hickman, her performance, and then trying to get to be able to play the videos. But listen, it worked out amazingly. So thank you, Sandra, to your husband for coming together and making this work for us. So yeah, again, it's beautiful to meet these people because, again, I would talk to her via social media, never met in person. Didn't even realize that she was in Houston. So we actually finally met, and I'm now just connecting her face with her actual social media name. So, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, guys. So I'm going to stop talking and then throwing the mic again to Tawnie so she could tell us about the San Francisco event that they had with the Taft nonprofit.
So that was really amazing because 2 different events. So the first thing was to be a part of the San Francisco Marathon. And I know you might be thinking brain aneurysms and marathon, but it's truly like, I love Dina, love where her mind is at. And she was like, I just know that these are really healthy people who are, and if you look at the odds, 1 in 50 are walking around with an unruptured aneurysm. So I had conversations with people who were like, this is my biggest fear. Like, why are you showing me this? And I said, I'm not showing you this. I'm showing this to empower you because I had an aneurysm rupture, and you know, and then we caught the second one before it ruptured. So I'm like, I'm here to show you. The second one, I was only in the hospital for 1 day. So it's really important, Shalom, to advocate. And it was also really cool to, you know, be able to share my story. People were coming over and like, why the mermaid tail? Like, I don't understand the association, you know, and then to be able to share with them that I use mermaiding to raise awareness, that it's a part of my recovery. And I said, exactly for this reason, like, we're talking right now. You would have just walked right past this booth. And I'm like, you may never be affected by this, but the odds, 1 in 50, you're going to know someone. And I can tell you how alone I felt. And every single one of us have felt that way. So I know, looking at me, and I get that the mermaid, trust me, some people are like, don't be a silly mermaid, no one can take you serious. But there's power in that magic and fun and lightness, because let's be honest, it is some dark shit we have to put up with. We have to go through trials, and that's why I love the mermaid just like analogy, because I say, like, just keep swimming. Like, there's some times where the waves are smacking me in the face and I feel like I can't breathe. And I'm like, I'm not really a mermaid. But then I realize, like, guess what? Even if I get my butt smacked to shore, I always get back up. We are survivors. Always get back up. But you do need community. You do need support. And to be there, and it was just really cool because everybody was either a survivor or their family member is a survivor or passed. So it was really cool. Of course, like, you had some tech difficulties. We had like, you know, people volunteers not be able to show up. So it was funny because usually there's a lot of moving hands. But it was really cool because at one point I was like pulling a dolly, and I have to thank Tracey. I said, if it was not for working on our strength and stamina, like, I was pulling a dolly backwards. So like my balance, all these things were better because of working on this. And also like, it was truly helpful having other survivors, because there was a moment where I was getting really frustrated with pulling the dolly and it not working right. And I was like, and like to have another survivor look at me and just go, breathe. This is silly. Like, it's funny, and anybody would have a problem with this. Now, love my parents, love everyone. If a normie would have said that to me in that moment, I might have just like, you don't understand. But like, coming from a fellow, you know, survivor, you're like, all right, you're right, I got this. This is just like silly. So that was awesome. It was a surreal experience. I really hope we get to do it again. Being at the Giants game and having a whole section of survivors and their family members, and to see the awareness up on the screen and then us all screaming was a feeling. Like I felt in my body, like just wow. And I swear to you guys, they hit so many home runs that I was like, and I looked at the other survivors. I go, you know, it's because we're here, right? I go, we're bringing that magic. I go, because when you've been through what we've been through, like, we just radiate this, like. So it was really awesome. And I wish I could have been at the Houston thing. Like, I was like, why did they have to be the exact same weekend?
It's all good.
But we will be doing more. So those of you guys who watch, keep watching. Make sure you join our channel. we will announce when there's events and things like that. Telling us where you guys are so we know. I mean, obviously we want to be everywhere, but when we know there's a lot of survivors right here, that's why if you notice, if everyone's like, why are they always in New York and California? It's an easier city location to like get people. Houston starting to have some other places.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tawnie, for all of that. That is so true. And then the thing is, not just joining the channel, keep letting us know, as she said, where you are, because it's quite a few people now that I'm on this week. They're like, wait, I'm in Houston. How did I miss that? I'm not sure how you missed it, but we have a stroke brain that we may not have been paying attention. So it's totally fine. Like that was a very, I would say, a much bigger event I did and more publicized. I will, now that I know there's so many of us out here, I will do more that may not be as publicized. I may not go all out in the sense that I did for this past event. But as a matter of fact, I'll throw this out there to say, if you are in Houston, Texas, this upcoming Tuesday, I believe the date might be the 6th, possibly 6th or the 8th. I don't know. It might be the 6th, but next Tuesday, this next Tuesday, I am meeting with some stroke survivors in a location that I can let you know of the location. If you shoot me a message, we are meeting next Tuesday, and it's going to be a very organic conversation in which it was some survivors that were at the event, some that may not have been able to get there from a ride, and things like that. Once we know, we make it happen with other survivors that do drive and say, hey, well, what city do you live in? So literally, it was one of those moments that we're like, hey, if everybody could tell me where you live at here, because especially like Texas is so big, it was like we had two people. It's like, oh my gosh, both of you are in Katy, like you over here in this, and I'm like, so it was great to be able to connect. Like, hey, I'm not the only one in Spring, Texas. Now I have somebody else in Spring, Texas. Now I have somebody else in Richmond, Texas. So all of these things that are now that we can connect and put together to say, hey, we're here, so we can come together and we know that we have the support. As I was saying, we are meeting up again next Tuesday, very organically. So if you would like to meet with us, shoot me a message. Everybody that was at the event does have my cell phone number. If you don't, you're here, shoot me a message. I'll give you my cell phone number so I can send you the location of where we're meeting at. And again, guys, it's to support each other in this community, to understand that you're not by yourself. And again, to understand that we love to do things very organically, so you don't have to feel like, oh, how do I have to dress? How do I have to show up? Maybe you show up as you are. We're just coming together to be together. Send your personal message.
He's confused. So I luckily did put you in contact. So that's the thing. I do also want to share is like we are also still survivors. So like I try my very best, but like right now, off the top of my head, I cannot think of someone in Pakistan. Do no, I am not Dina. That's why I keep telling your babe, I'm like, Dina is the director of TAC. So Dina was with me. She's Miss Chong. I'm not Miss Chong. I have a lot of last names, but you can just call me Mermaid. But luckily, I know that AVMs are very rare. Strokes are very rare. All of our brain injuries are very rare, but collectively coming together, we usually in the network somebody. That's why I did first introduce you to the UK survivor group. I know that's not in Pakistan, but that is honestly truly what is one of the hard things is that even we are so rare, like having just one state or just one country. So that's why we all try to come together. So my name's Tawnie, and then it's the Neuro Mermaid. So Tawnie is my real actual name. But I know between all of those resources, there's probably some people who are maybe not in Pakistan but close. But I can tell you, we had somebody who said, like, I'm in Panama. There's no way there's another survivor. But through enough of us survivors, we were able to connect them. So, like, as long as you're starting to get your feet wet and reach all of us, so, like, it will come. Because that's the one thing I want to break down more in this community is we are all so different, but coming together really does help. I am not saying anybody has the same things that you've been through or lives in the same place, so they have to fight the same battles. But because we are so rare, there's a lot of commonality. So she's in the Netherlands. Wow, double TBI survivor. And also, there's a lot of people who reach out who are like, I didn't have a stroke, I didn't have an AVM or a brain aneurysm, but I relate to you because I had insert, like Thai is a calformation, like I can never say it, cavernaceous malformation thingy-mabobby. But that's what's so powerful about the community is at the root of it, it doesn't really matter what the diagnosis is. If you can relate to someone, if someone can give you a little bit of support, a little bit of tips and guidance, like I am here for it, because this is twisty and turny healing journey.
Yes. I want to answer Jesse over here on YouTube. Jesse is asking where can I send you a message? You can actually send me a message via my email, bodytracefit@gmail.com, if you're on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't have direct message. So you can send me a message to bodytracefit@gmail.com, because you may not be on Instagram. If you have access to Instagram, you can Instagram bodytracefit, or either stroking_in_my_stilettos.
Well, and also they should have, I did try to link like your Instagram. So on the YouTube, if you press on it, then you should be able to pop over to your Instagram and get you there. But, and same thing, you can email me, but I'm going to be honest, email is not my jam. I'm not as good as it. I prefer Instagram, but 100% honest, I love text messages. That's why all of you survivors, my phone number is on my website. My phone is in Do Not Disturb. I'm going to tell you right now, if you call me, I will not answer. I don't answer. You have to text me first, say hey. And that's why, because I know something like, how do you manage that? My phone is in Do Not Disturb. I have to manage my phone. So I respond to messages and certain things on certain days and times. And that's why I really love connecting us with the community, because there's some people who are on their phones all the time. So I love that you asked where you want to be contacted with, but honestly, if you reach out anyway, we will respond. It's just, we are both only human. So like, I try. So I'm like, if it's really important, please text me, and please don't feel like you're bothering me, because I just want people, I don't want anyone to ever feel as alone as I felt. And that is why I share so loudly. I love the recognition I find in the community. Coco, I love that, like, you are so supportive. And I think that's what's so cool about being a survivor and being in the community and supporting each other. I and my brother contact many doctors who just said treatment of avian is just a surgery. I definitely love that you're talking to multiple doctors. That's really important. And that is why I'm glad I did put you in contact with Dina, because she is not a doctor, but she knows all the neurosurgeons and other things. I do remember, I think your AVM is not in your brain. So she's not, I think she still was able to connect you with some of the other people. But anybody watching, please reach out. If you're like, I don't know if you can help me, we can at least direct you in the direction. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. And I was going to ask, and like she was saying, we do have connections. If we're not there, I don't know if they were on here because I may have missed it, but I do know two people in Canada. So if you're on here, you're trying to connect with survivors in Canada. Of course, my brain is not going to tell you his first name, but I could definitely connect you. There's two people that I do know are in Canada that are amazing survivors. At one point, we were in contact. I think Jason, we were in contact all the time. He actually, I'm trying to think, the last time we went live, I think the last year, the year before, we used to do workouts live a couple of times. Like, he's great in just his recovery and everything. He's married, has a beautiful son that's probably, lady maybe 7 or 8 years old right now. So there's great connections with these people. That, so again, just tell us where you are, and if we're not there, we may likely have someone else that we can connect you with as a support in the community to keep you encouraged in this process of recovery.
Yes. And the reason I keep saying Dina is the director with TAF. So that's why I know there are a lot of support groups. There's a lot of different foundations out there. The reason I love TAF is it is an actual person, and she leads from a place of loss. She lost her mom at 15 to an aneurysm. So that's why she is, and I don't know. In fact, she's so sweet. I just will call her and be like, hey, Tracy needs, we would love you to help this person. And so having that support is really important. So that's why I keep saying TAP, which is the aneurysm. So it's a nonprofit. All the information is there. I link them to my page a lot. But I did set you up in the three-way chat. But anybody who's watching the replay or anything like that, please reach out. And I know it's the hardest thing to do is ask, and especially once we lose. Speaking from personal, it was like I still struggle with asking for help. You can ask Tracy. This week, I was gonna make myself work out. I'm like, I should work, and then I'm like, why am I doing that? I needed a little bit of. I told Tracy, I don't think I should. She's like, yeah, no, you shouldn't. So it was like, something we're also working on.
I am going to second that motion on Dina. Listen, and I will tell y'all how beautiful she is. Again, so many of these people are beautiful. We've never even met in person. It's the passion behind it. We love what we're doing, and we know that it's a God-given ability to be able to help people. So that's what we do it with so much passion, with so much work, without even second guessing. Tawnie connected me with Dina because I had a question about another survivor, a brand new survivor that was going through some things, and it had a hemorrhagic stroke. And I was like, okay, I know a little bit, but that's not an expertise that I have. We have somebody as beautiful as Dina that says, hey, this is what I do and this is what I know. When I tell y'all, Dina was on it immediately, knew the neurologist here that she was going to see, actually made the call to the neurologist like, excuse me, I don't believe this young lady is getting the help that she needs. And baby, when I tell y'all we had that appointment for this young lady within that week, and it's just about having that connection, that beautiful community, to have somebody to speak for you, somebody that advocates for you. And it was literally, we needed an advocate because I was like, this is weird. I don't believe she's getting the care that she needs. And I don't think anybody cares. And baby, it was a phone call. When I say Dina has so much knowledge, y'all, and she will tell you every single time.
I'm not a doctor, but
I'm someone that cares. Not a doctor, I'm someone that cares, and then also someone that does this research. And I tell people, I'm not a doctor, but my expertise, my knowledge, my passion, the education that I have that was put together, and with the gift that God gave me, that's why I have these things. And then the more I educate myself, the more things that I know. So I'm an advocate because I love to do it, because I love to have someone to speak for those that do not have the voice to speak for themselves. Love to have someone that has maybe a little more knowledge that you have. And as we work together, guys, we can continue to advance in our recovery into places that we are. So instead of you looking at one person that says, oh, I can't wait till I get there, I can't wait till I can meet that person, I can't wait to have that support. We're here, guys. We may not be in a place that you can physically touch us, but we're still here, and we will connect you. So we will connect you in a sense that it feels that we are there, holding your hand through this journey. And that's what we want it to be about.
Exactly. Facts about all of that. I wanted to add, I'm like, wow, this is, I know we're getting past the time we try and keep them short. But I know one of the hard things about having a chronic illness or a diagnosis is sometimes a lot of that medical trauma and fear. Like that's what you're talking about right now. You're like, I don't want to feel like that again. And like, I battle with that. Today I had to just go get an ultrasound, not related to my head. And I was upset about it. And I had to be like, I want to try to make this a positive experience. I can't live in the past. I can't think every time I go get something that something bad is going to happen. Like I have to break that pattern. So it is not easy. Please, we can chat more about it. Yeah, I know my cat is like loving up there. So thank you for checking. And just like the survivors who share, and like she said, that's why we share, is because we can get loud for those of you guys. I know, because in the beginning I wasn't loud. I was just letting it happen, and I learned the hard way a lot of things. And we are not doctors. We are just fellow warriors and survivors who love to give back. And like, if we had to, I just keep saying, if I had to go through that, at least if I know I can help someone make it a little bit easier, then it was all worth it. So it helps me recover just as much as that. So thank you guys for sharing. Thank you, Tracy, for doing the Houston event. Like, it made me so happy. I can't wait to go to the next one. Like, it's on. So next one I will be there with Tracy. She'll be getting me to. Did you guys end up doing like an exercise like before, after?
So no, we actually just involved it in the process of why we were doing it. We were just like, and literally it was because I'm so organic. And listen, you could throw it out there and say, like, I had the kids here, and they were like, Miss Tracey, can we do an exercise? I said, heck yeah, let's come on up. And baby, I didn't know baby girl was gonna pull out 20 pushes on it. 20 push-ups, the real one. It wasn't, and that's what I say. So I would train her mom. She knows, the baby girl know. I don't even know how to do knee push-ups, y'all. I tried to show y'all. It's just uncomfortable. I don't know. I've just never been a knee push-up. That's why I had to learn how to do real push-ups, because I'm not getting on my knees to do no push-ups. My body ain't made for knee push-ups. So baby girl put out 20. I think she's 5. Put out 20 full-on military push-ups, baby. If she went to 30, we was gonna go to 30. She was on 20, and she kept saying, so we got to like 13. She was like, I want to keep going to 20. And that's when I had to, come on, baby, we got, and the room started getting loud, clapping for it. Listen, they start putting out money and giving baby girl money for doing 20 push-ups. So she not only bust out 20 and got money from the people, adults in there. They were like, oh no, we got to pay you for that, because that was just beautiful. So it was beautiful, because like I said, organic. So whatever they said. And I gotta throw Tawnie out there. Tawnie Hickman, guys, award-winning artist, also stroke survivor. She performed, baby. She performed, and so she was. And I'm throwing her under the bus because she was worried about I didn't practice for my song, so you guys don't talk about. I said, baby, you a room full of stroke survivors. You didn't practice for your song. Nobody cares about that. The fact that you're about to get up here with the wheels to do it in front of us. And she turned that song into a poetic gesture. So she gave it to us as poetry, but at the same time, she couldn't help it, because as the song was playing, we were looking at her. I said, girl, you know you want to let that voice out. So she threw some parts in where she actually sung. And I'm not even going to try to tell you the words, but I'm going to Tawnie, when I'm going to text her, because Tawnie, that song, I need it so we can replay it over and over. I want it posted on my page. When I say yes, and it was a beautiful song. And I think the song is, listen, I'm going to tell you, I don't remember the exact hook, but the hook was something like, why you staring at me? You staring at me because I'm different. You staring at me because I'm really beautiful. But it was speaking for stroke survivors. You're staring at me because of my illness, my ailment. You're staring at me, but let me let you know that I'm beautiful in spite of that you're staring at me. It was, baby, when the words came out, I'm like, if I had the lyrics, I would have jumped up there and started singing. It was so raw. That's what I'm saying. Like, how powerful the words were. So she kept saying, my voice is off, guys. I don't want to sing it. Listen to it. And the more the hook played and she started saying it, I'm like, child, it literally, I need the words, because it was one of those things, how beautiful it is. Us as all survivors, we need to just continue to pronounce it. It was literally just like, what you looking at? I'm beautiful. I look like, it was just dope and so powerful how she came out and said it. And just the hook, and I'm telling you, y'all, if you don't know Tawnie Hickman Survivor, go and follow Tawnie Hickman, TONIHICKMAN. Absolutely beautiful, y'all. And I mean, she just makes music nonstop. But that one, it may be called I'm Beautiful or What You Looking At. And listen, it could have been called, it could go with either one. What You Looking At is powerful, or I'm Beautiful, because it was what you looking at, because I'm so beautiful. Baby, when I say it was amazing. So I had to thank her for that. I had to truly thank her again, because she could have just been like, I don't want to do it. My voice is off. And she did kind of like, my voice is off, but it was more as going back to, hey guys, we got to give ourselves grace. Okay, your voice is off. We're not coming here to judge you. We're coming in here to celebrate you for standing up and to perform in spite of how you were feeling about something being off that day. So it's just a beautiful thing, guys, to be able to come together, to praise each other, and to just enjoy life.
And I think Coco did ask a question, which was, so how do you motivate yourself to keep exercising? I'm having the worst time staying active.
Listen.
We're going to have two totally different things. Well, that's what I was like. Tracey has nonstop. So I come from a place of as a spoonie and as a migraine sufferer and my equilibrium being off. So for a while I got very, and I'm trying not to say the word lazy. I gave myself a lot of grace
because what would happen is I would go, oh, I
and then
exercise,
I needed to
take a nap.
So what's helped me to stay motivated is to realize that like exercising does make you, first of all, I'm like, it's the answer to a lot of the things that I have trouble with. My stamina, my sleep, my mood, everything. So like, as much as I just keep seeing it as like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So maybe it's not every day, but just trying to have a little bit of movement. So my dogs are hands down a big reason for that, because most times, even if I have a migraine, I will at least walk them around the block. And so I just want to have that. And also, I will tell you, once you start building your stamina back up, it is addicting. You see, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy.
I'm so happy that certain parts of my arms are not sore
from this event because I was lifting weights and doing stuff. Now my traps hurt like a mofo because I was carrying around a mermaid tail and I'm not used to doing that. Okay, so when you do that, but I was not a worker outer. Okay, I did not like it. I only played sports. I was not like someone who likes to go to the gym. So what did I do? If you notice, I keep people around me who will help me in areas that I am not strong. Most people will shy away from that. Then you're like, oh, I don't want to work out. But I am going to tell you, make sure you follow accounts that are motivating. I unfollowed a lot of fitness accounts when they only show themselves posed. I don't want to see that. I love the accounts that show themselves not posed and then posed. She's like, this is the exact same thing, not me eating a meal. This is literally because I need to see that because I have body dysmorphia. So I have to be very careful with how I work out, but it's not I want to look a certain way. It's about I want to be strong. That's why if you hear me, I say
I want my strength and my stamina back. I don't say I want a six pack. I want a blah blah.
I don't care what I look like. I want to be able to do activities. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, that is. So, and it's great that you asked that question because as Tawnie said, we come from two different perspectives. Listen, I am the fitness guru. I love to work out. I'm a little extreme. But I have an understanding also from the perspective of not just being a fitness expert of 23 years, but also being a stroke survivor. So I have grace as to understand what the survivor is going through and how we need to back up. But at the same time, I had to retrain my mind to understand that, hey, Tracey, and Tawnie is one that's always like, Tracey, you may need to sit down. You may need to listen to your body and sit down. As you tell me and as you tell everybody else, maybe it doesn't work like that for you all the time, in which it's a process that I'm learning how to sit down more, but my extremes are a lot higher than most the average person because I'm not your average person because I get a kick off working out. I get a kick off making myself sore and taking myself to the limits that I'm crawling out of the gym.
I'm not there yet.
And that's what I said. The average person, they're like, this is crazy. Like, why do I want to work out like that? But again, my mentality, guys, I'm going to give it to you this way. So there was a point that, 2018, I had an injury to my knee that I couldn't work out. And it was so depressing as to say, oh my God, I can't work out because of an injury. In 2019, I had this stroke. And right after I got myself back to working out, it was like, wait, so you telling me I just did all this? So you telling me a stroke is going to stop me from being able to do what I love? I said, nah, the devil is a lie. So my excitement comes to, hey, I love doing this. So I found my happiness, guys. So everybody's happiness may not be the level of fitness that I am in, but that's what gives me joy. And I would say it gives me so much joy as I keep telling my story. The first moment my hand opened up per my stroke, guys, was when they took me into a gym. So I tell people the relation to something that's going to bring you out of it and get you at your best will be something that you love to do. And I love fitness, guys. Literally, I'm going to repeat that. My hand first opened up, not to them giving me a rag to put in my hand to try to do it, baby. Me and rags don't communicate. My hand opened up when they took me into a gym, and I said, let me grab that weight. I grabbed that weight. Literally the first time after my stroke, I opened my hand, I grabbed a dumbbell in the gym. And they were like, oh my gosh. I said, yes, this is what I do. Even though I couldn't move my left side, I couldn't even feel it. But got into the gym, picked up that weight, and I said, now I'm ready to move. I'm ready to make my body work. So again, it goes back to say, it gives me a different type of motivation to work out, guys. And it gives me that motivation because I know how great it makes my body feel. I know how it pushes me to advance. I know how it makes me stronger to be able to recover, to be able to push myself past and going through all the pain and the difficult times of being a stroke survivor, because the pain that you'll have in that affected side. It's definitely not easy all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, why does my hip hurt? Why does my shoulder hurt? Why does all these things? I can assess that to the pain that I get from the gym of working out. I say, hey, if I can push through that pain I get from the gym, I can push through this pain as a stroke survivor, knowing that this shoulder is only temporary. So if I can push through that pain to make myself stronger, to therefore get full movement and mobility, that's what gives me the push to keep going. So I'm going to take that pain a little bit so I can have better success on how my recovery and how I move. So therefore, that's how, to answer your question, I believe it was Coco, how do you get through that? We're on all different levels. Tawnie is learning that as we're doing the strength and stamina. Tracey has
also, though, she really hit it. She said, what motivated her? Did you see the racks don't motivate her? So maybe it isn't working out. Maybe, like, if you noticed what I said, mermaiding. My goal is this summer, I want to be able to paddleboard and kayak. I did that last summer, but I was sore from it. So I'm motivated by activities and those things. Maybe you want to hike. Maybe you want to build up your stamina so that you're like, I can do this. And so that's why it's really important. If you do not like the gym, it doesn't have to be that. And that's why Tracey shows you can work out at home. You can do other things. There's a lot of survivors. Maybe building your arm up is because you want to be able to pick up your baby. That's your goal. So like not lifting, your brain can't associate a weight. You need to start with just your freaking makeup brush, and then you need to upgrade to this, and then a drink. So like finding what motivates you and not looking like, well, she loves to do that. Watching me and Tracey work out, you will see I pretty much always modify what she tells me to do. I'm like, we're gonna do a little bit of this. No.
And that is so true, guys. And that's what we're getting to. It's what motivates you. So, and it's always, as I could think of, not sure if she's still on here, my beautiful Kristen Franche, if you're on here, I'm shouting you out. So her motivation is different, but I threw it out yesterday. I'm so happy her recovery, as her daughter is always there with us as we're working out to help her in her recovery. And she said to me, like, hey, I haven't changed my daughter yet. I haven't been able to like literally put my daughter's pamper on since I had the stroke, or have not gotten her dressed with a shirt. So guess what? We're not going to focus on exercising today. We're going to focus on this activity of learning how to put your daughter's pamper on, learning how to put your daughter's shirt on, learning how to be comfortable around your daughter doing normal day-to-day things. So therefore now your daughter is comfortable to say, hey, mommy may not be 100%, but hey, mommy just put my pamper on. So because a kid doesn't quite understand how to communicate that, she'll learn like, hey, she may now go and say, hey, mommy, time to change my pamper. Or, hey, mommy, can you help me get dressed? But we had to take her to that step to say, hey, I may not be at 100%. And she was kind of worried. Like, I'll tell you in the process of while we're getting baby girl dressed, a 2-year-old's going to be a 2-year-old. And a 2-year-old, she starts doing one of these, more like get off of me. And she was looking like, oh, she's not going to ever want me to do this. I said, no, we just going to play with her and get her mind. And I start like joking with the baby. And she forgot all about her shirt getting stuck in her head. But again, it was just a beautiful thing. And to be able to give the young lady the comfort to say, hey, this right here is going to be good for her to say, it's okay that her shirt got stuck, but she still did it. And I'm not even sure that the young lady noticed that when her daughter's shirt got stuck, that left hand, that affected hand kicked in and she was trying to take it off. So literally, instead of her holding that hand, just doing it with the right, when she seen her daughter worried, like the baby started.
It's amazing.
Mommy. It's more like, get this shirt off my head. And her left hand was kind of fragile, but it was like, let me get this shirt off my daughter's head real fast. So again, that motivation was her daughter. That motivation was not, hey, Tracey, let's get to this workout. But at the same time, I would also say she was able to move that hand like that because of the workout. So like Tawnie said, the workout is not her motivation, but it's beneficial to whatever her motivation is. So that's why we add the workouts in, because it's strengthening your body, it's strengthening your mind. It's a all around joy to say, hey, I may not like this workout, but I understand what the benefits later. You may not understand it right now, but it's going to benefit you in the long run to pick that hand up, to be able to put your shirt on your door, or whatever the case may be, guys. And I'm sorry, y'all, we're going way too long past our time. So we're going to end this because, Lord, if you get on live later and see that this is a 40-minute podcast, you're going to be like, oh, I'm not listening. But it's a great conversation, so I want y'all to listen. So we're ending this now, y'all. Me and our conversation, we are getting off. We will see y'all next Tuesday for Strength and Stamina and next Thursday for Survivor's Conversation. We out of here, y'all. Love y'all.